Okay, we are here, and I understand that you can hear me very well. Can you hear me very well? I need to confirm that.
Yes.
Oh, all right, that's fine. Um, all right, let's continue. Right. So the first questions in the last paper 2023. We shall be doing this in the afternoon. We can do paper 2. So if you have the energy, you let me know. But if you don't have the energy today, we can do the paper 2 tomorrow. We can do it the day after, and so on. Okay. So yeah. Hey, all provincial September 2023. Right. So we are looking at a large booklet of all of them. So they've all been put together. In the table of contents, we shall be looking at aspects that pertain all the parts of paper one. The algebra, the sequencing series, the functions, the differential calculus, the financial math, and the probability, and so on. Okay. Right. So now to start with, the Limpopo paper was put first. And they've put the paper of Limpopo. So we shall be working together. Can you get hold of a scribbler and a pen next to you and a calculator? A scribbler, a book, an old book, a pen, and a calculator, because we shall be working together. So these are like past exam, like all provincial exams. So we need to work together because I can just do them as examples, but it's not profitable for me to just solve all of them. Some of them I'm going to give to you to try. So you need to have a paper to write on, a book, because it's like lots of questions. Um, right, right. So, if you have your book, please let me know because, yeah.
Yes.
All right, good. So we're going to work together right now. Let's get started. Yes, we're getting started. There are a couple of things we shall be looking at. Amongst others, we are making sure that we get ourselves very, very prepared for the exam. Right, let me give you 2 minutes to try the first question, please. 2 minutes to try the first question. And let me know when you're done. Okay, because when you're done, then I'm going to ask you for the answers. When you're done, then I'm going to ask for the answers. And then you shall give me the answers, then I will know whether you're on the right path or not. So I want this session to be mostly a practice session than just a session in which I like give the information. Okay, thank you. Well, thank you so much. Well done to you there. So we can actually, we're able to see that the first question has two answers. So you have x equals 0, or you have x equals 7. So these are the two answers, and well done. Thank you so much. Okay, that's smart. I've received the answer under comments. Okay, so this question came from Limpopo province. Let's look at 1.1.2. So 1.1.2 is pretty straightforward. We actually compare with ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, from which we're able to see here that a is equal to 3, b is equal to -2. We're able to see that c is equal to -6. The quadratic formula is clear that we have minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by twice a. So we have minus, what is b? is minus 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared. Right, so it's actually minus 2 squared. Then you put minus 4. What is our a? Our a is actually 3. Our b is minus 6. And you divide everything by this, which is exactly twice. A is actually exactly 3 there. Okay, so we have this. And once we have this, we're able to get to the answer to this problem here. And the solution is very, very straightforward. And what is then the solution to this? What is then the solution to this? So you have 3x squared. We have minus 2x. We have minus 6, which equals 0. So what are the answers to this? If you simplify everything, so you'll be able to see that x is equal to 1 plus the square root of 19, all divided by 3. Here we're able to see that x is the same as 1 minus the square root of 19, all divided by 3, like this, okay? From which you were able to see that to 2 decimal places, we have that x is the same as what? So with the plus here, it is 1.786. Okay, you can put 9 to 2 decimal places. Right, 789 here. So you have 789 here. Or x's. Now you put the minus, which is minus 1.12. So these are the two answers then to 2 decimal places to the question. Okay, so we are done. Right, now we continue with our practice. We continue with our practice. The next question now is 1.1.3. What is the answer to 1.1.3? Right, your thoughts, please, on that one. So I'm giving you like a little bit of time to try it. Okay, we're gonna do it up here in this little space. So in this little space up here, we're gonna solve the problem which says clearly, right, which says clearly that we have 3 minus x into 7 plus x is less than naught. Right. I want you to just scribble, and I need the final answers in terms of what the final answers are to this. Not really the steps at the moment. Okay, because you're still by yourself. I've not had the others joining us yet, so yeah. I'm interested in just knowing what you think about the questions, and then we shall be in a place. We shall be good. We shall be so good. That'll be so good. Okay. All right. You done, right? Right. Okay, we can do these together. First things first, we need to write down the critical values. What are the critical values? The critical values. Okay, thank you so much. I'm seeing the comments there. So that's fine. You got 3 and 7. That's okay. And then I can see you have -7. Okay, so that's correct. So the critical values obviously will be x equals 3, right? I agree. So that's correct. Thank you so much. So you have the critical values which are x equals 3. The other critical is x equal to -7. So those are the two critical values that we got. Now, with these in mind, we are able to get the following result. So what we do is we draw this kind of a parabola. So this question is very, very tricky. It's very tricky because the examiner decided to put -x here. So if you multiply the -x with the x, what we get is we get a -x squared, and which means the graph is going to have a maximum vertex. Just so you notice it's not the usual, so it's a maximum vertex like this, a set face, right? A set face. So normally it's a smiley face, right? In which case, therefore, you position the two values here, right? So you're going to position the two values. What are the two values that you position? So you position -7 and then you position 3. Right. You start with the negative and then you put the positive there. So these are actually the x values, from which you're able to see that the final answers to these are, when this is negative, negative would be below the horizontal axis, like this, horizontal below, like this. Okay. Right, so below would mean therefore x is less than -7, or you have the other one here, or you have the other one, x is actually bigger than 3. So these will sort of be the two solutions to these, actually. Okay, so you have these two answers. We are done. Okay, so you note this because this was the provincial exam of Limpopo. Right, we are yet to look at the rest of the other provinces. Let's look at the next one. Okay, this is recorded, so you'll have a chance to see these. So the question of you just copying exactly of just all the answers. Okay, now we have this one here. This one is a little bit tricky. But I'm giving you a chance first to try it in a few minutes and tell me what you think the answer is, and then we shall do the corrections together now. So 1.1.4. 1.1.4. 1.1.4. So you let me know when you are done. Okay. Okay, we're still here. I need to pick my tool. Need to pick my tool, my writing tool. Okay. Right. Right. So we are so good. Let me know when you're done. The aim is just to keep you practicing today, so we're practicing together. No stress. We're looking at the Limpopo question. And then we shall look at Gauteng. We shall look at, yeah, all provinces. But obviously to run really quite fast because there are a lot of provinces, 9 of them. Just imagine doing 9, question 1, and then the others, question 2, not for 9 provinces, and then and so on. So yeah. Okay. Okay, let's look at this one here. So this question 1.1.4 is very, very straightforward. First and foremost, you need to look at the bases. Yeah, so you have the base 8 and the base 2. The base 8 and the base 2 are two important bases. So now the base 32 is the same as 2 to the power what? Is the same as 2 to the power 5, right? But it is raised to the cube root, or is raised to 1 over 3. That is the cube root. Then we have 2 to the power 8 is the same as 2 to the power 3. And then you raise it to 3x, right? And then you have 2 to the power 6x. So this is actually 2 to the power 5 out of 3, which is 2 to the power. Now, 3 by 3 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. So you have 15x. The bases are the same, and therefore you equate the exponents, which means we have this, which equals 15x. Right. So at this point, then, what this means is we want to solve for x. How do you solve for x? You divide both left and right by 15. So it's 5 over 3. You divide by 15 here. You have 15x. You also divide by 15, which means you have x equals, right, if you divide, if you have this one here, you can multiply the top and bottom by 3. And this gives us the 3 cancels. The 3 is going to cancel this one, giving us exactly 5 over 3 by 15. What is this? So which is 1 over 9 equals x. So our x is 1 over 9. Okay, think about that one, but yeah, that is exactly what we're doing there. As we do the questions from Limpopo, we're getting x equals 1 over 9. All right. So the next question is the one of 1.1.5. We are doing a radical equation. A radical equation. So this one here is actually a radical equation. Okay, in this radical equation now, what do we do? Right, so we can solve this one. Right, to solve this one, we transpose things. So here is the answer to this particular question. So we will transpose first things first. So with x minus 4 equals 2 with these. So x minus 4, you square. You square these. Right, so if you square the x, you have x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to, okay? Then you have 4 into, okay, you square 2, it becomes 4. You square the square root, it becomes x minus 1. from which you're able to get exactly x squared. You have minus 8x, then you bring across minus 4x, which is going to become minus 12x plus 16, which equals minus 4. Right, so from which you're able to achieve x squared minus 12x plus 20 is naught. Right, so we have this here. The factors of x squared are x and x. Then you have the factors of 20. Right, the factors of 20, that gives us minus 12. They are actually minus 10 and 2. So you have minus 10 and x equals and x minus 2. So you have this one here. These are the factors. So we have x equals 10 or x equals 2. Right, in the metric exams, it's very important that you quickly, because now what we did here was squaring both sides. So if you have done squaring both sides, you need to think of a way of simplifying these. Right, also checking the answer, because squaring produces undesired answers. So if x is 10, for example, what do we get? Is the solution correct? Okay, you substitute into the original equation, right? If you put x equals 10, it becomes 10 minus 4, which is 6. And then it's 6. And then you put 10 minus 1, which is what? Which is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So you have 6 minus 6, which is 0. Then you put 2. 2 minus 4 is minus 2. Right. And then here you have minus 2. Uh-huh. So this one is very interesting. If you put 2, it becomes 2 minus 4 minus 2. Then you come here, you have 2 minus 1. Okay, according to the equation, this must be equal to 0. So if you check the answers, is this equal to 0 or not? So you need to check this. Right, so to check this, then you have 2 minus 4, which is a minus 2. Right, you have 2 minus 1, which is 1. Right, so you have minus 2. What is minus 2 minus 2? Is minus 4. We agree that minus 4 is not 0. So the answer is that this one is not the case. So in other words, alternatively, you can say this one is not applicable, or x equals 2 is inadmissible. 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 So that becomes the result there. All right. So the only answer is x equals 10. And we got that exactly. The next question from Limpopo is the simultaneous equation. So we have the simultaneous equations from Limpopo. Now let's see what the students of Limpopo had to do to deal with this one. What did the students from Limpopo have to do to deal with this one here? So we continue. We most certainly continue. Right. I know the simultaneous equations are pretty straightforward, so we'll get a chance to do them. Right, so as we are doing these ones from Limpopo, let me just remove these to create space for the equations from Limpopo. Right, the guys of Limpopo province. Cleaning the board a little bit. Right, so let's look at the simultaneous equations from Limpopo. So we are focusing right now on question 1.2, which is this one here. How do we actually solve this? Right, to solve this now, we are going to look at the first equation, which is actually x minus 2y equals 1. We're going to transform this one and make one of the variables the subject of the equation. Making x the subject of the equation means x is equal to 2y plus 1. And this is equation 1. So, and then you have exactly x squared. Xy plus 2y squared is equal to 2. And then now you have equation 2. Right, so what you do is you put 1 into 2. Right, so if you put equation 1 into equation 2, you substitute into this one. Right, in which case, therefore, wherever there is x, you put 2y plus 1. So you put 2y plus 1, you square this one here, and then you have minus x. What is the x? Right, it's actually 2y plus 1, y, plus 2y squared is equal to 2. Right, so you square this one here, which becomes exactly 4y squared minus, or the plus 4y plus 1. Okay, we are squaring the binomial. Binomial is a two-term expression. 2y plus 1 is a binomial expression, so we are squaring these. Right, we are squaring these. So what we're then getting is that you have minus 2y squared minus y plus 2y squared is equal to 2. Right, so we continue. This one here, the minus 2y squared and the 2y squared cancel out, giving us 4y squared. Right, so you have this one here, you have the 4y and you have the minus y. 3y we get. Next, you have the y minus 2, which is minus 1. We have this. Okay. So now, after having obtained this one, we proceed now to solve this equation. How do we solve this equation? So to solve this equation, we obtain the values of x and y out of this. Right, so if we have this equation, what are the factors of this equation here? Right, so you have the factors of this, and you can be able to get the factors. What are they? They are 4y, right? So you have 4y minus 1, and then you have exactly y plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so getting these factors here, which means at this point we can see that y is equal to 1/4 or y is equal to minus 1. Right, everything well laid back, we're practicing today. And now we want to get the values of x. X is, the equation is that one. So which means that x is 2 into the y, which is 1/4. 1/4, 2 into 2y plus 1. Or you have x is equal to y. What is y? Is minus 1 plus 1. So which means you have this one canceling, which is 1/2 plus 1, which is 1 plus this one is 1.5 or 3 out of 2. This one is minus 2 plus 1, which is exactly minus 1. So you have this here. So you get the answer to this, and you actually will actually be in a position to get these right. So yeah, we good. We good. So we have solved these small test equations. How do we know if these answers are correct or there's a mistake in the calculation? Right, you check the answers by substituting, because it's simultaneous, into any of the two equations. Like if you put the x, if you check, you want to check the fraction, or you want to check the whole numbers. Y is equal to minus 1, x is minus 1. So you put here x is minus 1 and y is minus 1. You substitute here. And this is minus 1 plus 2. What is minus 1 plus 2? It's like 2 minus 1, which is 1. And this is equal to the right-hand side. So obviously these are correct. And it is, we can also use this one, but this one, this equation is a bit long. It has squares and so on. So it might actually take us time to get the result too if we plug in the y and the x values. Okay, so, and that confirms that our solution is correct. Right, in Limpopo, they also gave them this question. The next question, obviously, is going to come from the Mpumalanga province and other provinces like the Free State, the Northwest, and many others. Right, and the Eastern Cape, the Western Cape, and so on. Northern Cape, etc. Okay, 1.3. It will cost 3,500 to hire a taxi for X number of friends to go on a trip. Friends do not have money to pay. The remaining friends agree to pay extra um 4,000, rather for 43 rand and 75. Right. Each to cover the cost of the taxi. Calculate X, the number of friends who want to go on the trip. I'm giving you a couple of minutes to do this one. I'm giving you like 3 minutes to try and put this one together. And it's a creative question from Limpopo. I want to see what you think about this as you are obviously planning practicing here. Okay, right. This one came from Limpopo. It can come in the finals, something like this. After the simultaneous, they can put something like this. The question is, what would you do if this was there? So I'm trying to make sure that I actually exercise your mind from time to time so that you are in a position to, because now if you are a soccer player, you must sometimes be thrown into the pitch. And I say, please, Paul, start kicking the football because you are a player, right? Because you are a player. So we have exactly that one there, right? Because it will cost 3,500 to hire a taxi for X number of friends to go on a trip. Four friends do not have money to pay. The remaining friends agreed to pay extra 43 rand and 75 each to cover the cost of the taxi. Calculate X, the number of friends who want to go on the trip. Right, so you have exactly that one there. Right. Let me know when you're done. It's a tricky question a little bit. It's not usual. It's just a creative question from Limpopo. And I want to see what your thought is on this one. Right. Because it will cost 3,500 to hire a taxi for X number of friends to go on a trip. So for X people, it will cost 3,500. For friends do not have money to pay. The remaining friends agree to pay extra each to cover the cost of the taxi. So in other words, everybody wants to go, but some do not have the money. So they then said the remaining friends agreed to pay extra, um, 43 rand and 75 cents each to cover the cost of the taxi. So now what are we supposed to calculate? We need to calculate X, the the number of friends who want to go on the trip. Right. So think about this question. Think about this question. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to see what you think about the question. So it's a very, very interesting one. So we are practicing here. We are practicing. Okay. See, I'm just taking a call now. Yes, Bupilo. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just give me some time. I'm gonna connect you at the right time. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna connect you at the right time. Yeah, so yeah, relax for now. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna call you so that we can sort it out. And then I'm gonna give you the time at which you will connect. So it's okay that now it's giving some challenges, but I'm gonna give you a call so that we can fix it. Okay. All right. Thanks, Pupilo. Right. I'm trying to see what you can think about this question from Limpopo. Okay, I want to see what you are thinking about this question from Limpopo. Okay. All right. So let me know what you think of the question, please. You're still here, Paul, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I know it's tricky. Take your time, please. But I want to see what you're going to do with the question. Okay, because it's a good practice. Right. It's a good practice. It's some good practice. Okay. Some very good practice exercise. So I want to see what Improve is going to do here. How far? Okay, it's tricky. Okay, maybe. All right. So let's do it together. Right. So in 1.3 now, Paul, you have this question here. So we're gonna do it here together. Create space here. And create space at the bottom anywhere. Okay, the hint is that it has been put next to Maltese equations. Because it has been put next to Maltese equations, it is there to make your life easy. So It is there to show you that it's a Martinez equation sort of question. So do not stress very much. Just don't stress very much. So I know that you're thinking too much now, but you want to know X. What is X? X, for X number of friends to go on a trip. Right. So to do this question part, obviously you need to think. Right. So let's enjoy the question from Limpopo. Right. So we're doing the answer to the question 1.3.1. And we're really saying now it will cost 3,500 to hire a taxi for X number of friends to go on a trip. So there are two things here that are very important for us. So right. So there are two things that are very important as you do this question. It will cost this amount of money. So if you have friends and you want to do something, you want to go on this trip, or you have friends and you want to buy a loaf of bread together, and you say the loaf of bread costs 20 rand. How much will each one contribute to buy the loaf of bread? How do you solve that kind of a problem? Because you are saying you want to buy a loaf of bread and you have X friends, you want to buy a loaf of bread. How do you get the amount of money each friend should pay? Okay, right. This is how we do it. So we are saying let X be the number of friends. Number of friends. So X is the number of friends we're dealing with here, Paul. Okay, so we're enjoying the question from Limpopo. Right. X number of the friends. Right. So, but we need another variable Y, which is the price per friend. In the end, we want to do this together, but each one must pay something. Each one must pay something. So which means it will cost 3,500 to hire taxis for for X number of friends. So it means that we'll say the price per friend by the number of the friends is going to be 3,500. This is it. Okay, this is it. Because if we want to know, we say, okay, you have 5 friends. Each one will pop out 2 rand, 2 rand. What is 2 times 5? 2 times 5 is 10 rand. So we're going to have 10 rand if we have 5 friends to buy a loaf of bread. So it might not be enough for some form of bread if the bread is Albany or Blue Ribbon. So we have that kind of thing. Okay, so it will cost 3,500 to hire a taxi for X number of friends to go on a trip. So it means that the price per friend times the number of the friends is 3,500. 4 friends do not have money to pay. So we have X friends, but 4 friends do not have money to pay. So it means that those who are going to pay are, it's X minus 4. We are subtracting the 4 because the 4 do not have money. Okay. 4 friends do not have money to pay. The remaining friends agree to pay X per 43 and that each to cover the cost of the taxi. So the these are the remaining friends. They agreed to pay 43 rand extra, 43 rand and 5 extra. So in other words, the price per friend is going to be a price per friend, but they're going to pay 43. Okay, if this happens, they pay extra 43. They have their original price, but they pay extra now. And then this extra payment of the remaining people must make the money, must make the cost of the taxi, the cost to hire the taxi. So the others who are going to pay extra, their money, if you put everything together with the extra money, it must make 3,500. Calculate X, the number of friends who want to go on the trip. Well, this is a smart just equation, this. So what is X? So we come here now. We can come here and make Y the subject of the equation. So it means that Y is 3,500 over X. X minus 4. What is Y? Is 3,500 over X plus 43,75, which is 3,500. So we just need to solve for X out of this. Pretty good, 5 marks. Okay. How do you solve this one? We just multiply everything. So what is X times this? X times this. So we use distribution. X times this is 3,500. Okay. Then you have X times that one. It is actually 43,75, which is X by this. Then you have 4 by this. What is 4 times 3,500? Okay, 2 times 3,005 is 7,000. And then 7,000 by 2. Hey, okay, we need to work very hard because the exam is here. And I'm appealing with you to make time during the week at night. If during the day you are busy, but you need to make time at night, please. I just know that the exam is here. So this is exactly 14,000. So 4 times this, 4 times 3,500 is 14,000. 14,000, and you divide it by X. Right, then you have 4 times this. 4 times 43.75. So it's minus 175, which is 3,005. Okay. All right. So this by that is that. This by that. Okay, I missed an X here. I missed an X. You just put the X here. I just missed an X when I was distributing. So yeah. Yeah, okay, we are here together. So do not be scared, Limpo. This is a question from Limpopo. This by this and then this by that. So X by 43 is exactly 43,75x. So you have this by that, then you have this by that is 43x, then this by that, then you have this by that, etc. So we get that. Okay. What is everything here that we get now? Right, so multiply through by X everywhere, by X, to eliminate this X there. So that's going to be exactly 3,000. Let me start here. So that's going to be exactly 3,500. X, multiply everything by X, plus 43,75 X squared minus 14,000 minus 175X is 3,500 x. What is this? So you have these. You have these. So if you have 3,500, it's going to cancel out. It is surely going to cancel out. So you have that this one here is going to cancel this one here. And so what does this give us ultimately? So now we have the x squared, and then what about the x terms? Okay, so the x, this one cancels this. So you're only left with minus 175x. All right, so we are left with minus 175x. Okay, then we continue. So you have minus 175x. So yeah, we're done with these two, and then you have this one, and then you have minus 175, and then you have minus 1, 4. Well, you have 14,000 here equals 0. All right. So you have these. So you have 175 divided by 43.75. If you divide by 43.75, what you're getting is you're getting x squared minus the 175 divided by that is 4x minus, okay, you also divide 14,000, divide by 43.75. So this is 320. All right. Um, um, all right. So it's 320 in that, okay? So now we are good. We are so good. What is the answer to this then, Paul? We need the factors of this. What are the factors of this? So the factors of these are the factors of x are what? Factors of x are x and x. Right, so now you need to factorize this. Minus 320 equals 0. So here you'd have minus 20, and here you have plus 16, which means that x is equal to 20 or x is equal to minus 16. But because x is the number of friends, the number of friends cannot be negative. The number of friends cannot be negative. So it means that the friends can only be positive. So they said calculate x, the number of friends who want to go on the trip. So it is clear, therefore, that the number of friends who want to go on the trip is 20. So there are 20 friends. The next question is calculate the total amount that each friend pays for this trip in order to cover the costs. So this is what I was saying, that why is the price per friend? So total amount that each friend pays for this trip to cover the cost. So we're interested in Y as well. So Y is 3,500. You divide that by X. So it is 3,500. You divide by X, and X is 20. What is 3,500 divided by 20? Okay, you can use a calculator. 3,500, you divide it by good 20.
175.
Well done. Thank you so much. So it's 175. So each friend must pay 175 to cover the cost of these. Right. Each friend must pay 175 to cover the cost of these. So we have this kind of a story, and therefore this is the most important story. But now, obviously, you need to check if these answers are correct. How do you check if these answers are correct? To check if these answers are correct, they must satisfy the equations. So like xy is 3,500. So which means y is 175. You multiply that by what? So you multiply 175 by 20. X is 20. What are we getting out of this? We must be getting 3,005 here. Right. Okay, but now you need to think very carefully about this because each one, the remaining friends agree to pay extra. So we're getting that Y is 175, but there is an extra payment there. There is an extra payment. So we must take care of the extra payment. So how do we take care of the extra payment? Because the total amount that each friend pays for this trip. So, but we must take care of the fact that it's not that each one just pays 175. They don't pay the same amount because four of the friends do not have money. So we must take that into account and say there are those who are not going to pay anything, four of them. And then there are those that are going to pay extra. So for those who are going to pay extra, therefore, it means that we must use this formula. We must use now that formula there. Okay, must use that formula there. So it means each friend will pay 175, the total amount that each friend must pay. Each friend must pay 175 plus 43. Plus 43. Okay, now I want us to do a check. Right, okay, we're done with the question. We're just evaluating the problem to make sure. If you do a check here, you have x minus 4. Oops, okay. So you substitute, also this one would must satisfy the equation. So you check this one. Y plus 43. What is this? So it's 20 minus 4. X is 20. And then Y is 175 plus 43,75. Okay, this Morton's equation, you expect this one to give us 3.5. So let's check that one. So you put everything here on a calculator. You're just checking the answers here, right, to make sure that everything is well with this question. Right, a slightly creative question from Limpopo province. 175 plus 43.75. Yes, it is exactly 3.5. So in other words, this is the amount of money that obviously these are the amounts. The X and the Y are correct. But I want us to analyze this as follows and to come to the following conclusion about the total amount that each friend pays for this trip in order to cover the cost. They're also going to pay extra. So each friend pays, each friend will pay how much? Each friend will pay 175 friend, we agree, but now there must be 43 rand each, 43 rand 75. Get the answer to this. So you have 175 plus 43.75. 175 plus 43.75. So it's 218. Right. So obviously for those who are going to pay extra then, each friend pays about 218. Okay, in order to cover the cost. So you have 218 with the extra payment. So in other words, with the extra payment, each friend therefore pays the 43 rand extra. So that if they pay the 43 rand extra, each friend was supposed to pay 175, but it's not the case that each one is going to pay 175 because we agree that some do not have money and four of them do not have money. So it means therefore each friend will have to pay 43 rand extra. So each friend will have to pay like 218 rand and 75 cents. Okay, so that is the kind of thing you need to obviously anticipate in this question. Right. So yeah, y is 175, but with the extra payment, it is y plus 43.75, which is exactly that amount of money that each friend needs to pay. So in other words, each friend pays this extra when there are four less people. Four less people. All right. So yeah, we're done with the question from Limpopo. Next question from Mpumalanga province. So we continue. This one is straightforward. Right, from Mpumalanga, this one is x equals 3 or x equals 2. Okay, I don't want to waste time with some of these because it's straightforward, so we can't waste a lot of time there. The next one now is also straightforward from Mpumalanga. All right, so A is, uh, so we have that A equals 2, we have that B equals 7, we have that C equals 2. We do this on a calculator, we get x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared. Yeah, just put b squared here. Minus 4ac out of 2a, which is minus 7 plus or minus the square root. B squared, which is 7 squared minus 4a is 2. C is the minus 2 over 2a is 2. Right, so let's do this one quickly. So in other words, we have this one here. Right, so you have 2x squared plus 7x minus 2 equals 0. Okay. So when you get this one here, we get, if you simplify, this is minus 7 plus the square root of 65 over 4. The other one is minus 7 minus the square root of 65. Goodness me, over 4. Goodness me, like this. So you have the approximate values. Okay, the plus is going to give 0, 0.2, 0.27. This one is going to give minus 3.77. Okay, so you have that one. Right, so you have these. Right, so these are the questions from Mpumalanga. Okay, let's look at 2.1.3. It's easy. 6x squared minus, okay, you can move everything to the other side so that you maintain the coefficient of the quadratic term as positive. So you have 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. Okay. But if you move everything, you subtract all these, it's going to be less than naught. So you have this. So what are the factors of this? Right. Let's look at the factors of this. What are the factors of this? What do you think? Have you thought of the factors? Right. 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. Some people went to church. Okay, I was expecting a couple of students, but some students told me that they went to church. So it's okay to go to church. You can go to church and let me know. But okay, I went to church. Right. So the factors will actually be the same as 3x minus 4 into 2x plus 1. Okay. Right. At this point, we have critical values. Okay. Right. So you have critical values. Which means x is 4 over 3 or x is minus 1 over 2. So if these are the critical values, okay, this one has a minimum vertex, so you're gonna have this. You position them here, so x is like minus 1/2, and y is right. The x, another x is 4/3. This is the x-axis. Okay, so this is we're looking at where this is actually negative, strictly less. So you're looking at this part. For if this is negative, minus 1/2 is less than x, less than 4/3. Okay, you have this. So this is the answer. Because now, why are we taking this? We're considering the part where it is negative. Negative is when it's below the x-axis. So below the x-axis, you have x lies between minus 1/2 and 4/3. Okay, let's look at 2.2, for example. Let's look at 2.2, for example. Okay, 2.2 is about simultaneous equations. So yeah, let's just do it together. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so um, let's just do this here. Righty. Okay, so we have lots of space to do the simultaneous equation. Right, I'm just minimizing. I'm changing my writing tool. Let me pick a pen now. And then go back to full screen mode. Right, on the PDF annotator program. Right, so now here we are looking at 2.2. We have y minus twice x. So y is twice x minus 1. 2. So put 1 into 2. So you have 2x minus 1. Okay, let's remove this one. So you have v squared. So y is 2x minus 3x. Y is 2x. In the place of y, you put 2x minus 1. And this is minus 2. So, yeah, in the place of y, you put 2x minus 1, you square it. Minus 3x. In the place of y, you put that. You square these, which becomes 4x squared minus 4x. 6x squared plus 3x. So you have 4 minus 6, which is minus 2x squared. Minus x. So 4 minus 6 is minus 2x squared. Minus x. You have 1, and then you bring the 2 to the other side. It becomes like a 3. It becomes that. Divide through by the negative 1. Multiply through both left and right by negative, and you get these. Okay, from which you're able to get here to x and x. So you have 2 here. So you have these. What are the factors of this? You put 3 here. You put 1, make both negative, and then you shall decide on which one is positive. Which is minus 3 over 2. To x minus 1. Okay, x now is minus 3 over 2. So it's 2x is 1 minus 1, 1. This is the answer. Okay, so we get these two answers. These are the Martinez equations. We've solved them here. And obviously, you can check if the answers are correct by substituting into one of the equations. Like if you substitute into this equation here, right, let's choose these whole numbers. They're easier to deal with. So here we have y equals 1. We have x equals 1 as well. What is 1 minus 2?
-1.
Negative 1. Well done. And it is, so you need to check, because now, why am I checking simultaneous? Because it's a long calculation. So there's a chance of human error. We can make a mistake somewhere. We can miss a sign. We can write a plus in the place of a negative. And when all that happens, we need to always check our answers to make sure we get full marks here. Because if we just calculate and get the answer and there's a mistake, then the examiner is going to mark us wrong and we're going to be in trouble because we're going to lose marks. Multi-choice equations are those things where you need to get full marks because there's no trick. It's just always substitute one equation into the other. So it's obvious. It's obvious. 2.3, like in Limpopo, 2.3 came from Mpumalanga province. But in 2.3, like in Limpopo, they decided to make it tricky. It's simultaneous, that 2.3, but it has x divided by y, and then it is y divided by x, and then it is 70 out of 4, and then you need to calculate two values of x over y, you know. So it's like in Limpopo, but they did not make it like a word problem. They did not make it, they did not make it a story sum. But you thought about this. What do you think? Let me give you like 3 minutes to try 2.3. I want to see what you're gonna do. 2.3 from Pumalanga. And obviously, like in the same way I gave you the one from Limpopo, and then we did it together. Okay, so please let me know when you're done. And then I'm just interested in the answers, final answers, not quite the steps. So I'm interested in knowing whether, because they said calculate two values of x over y. So will the values be five and, because there are two of them, because they said calculate two values. So will the two values be 1 billion and a trillion? Will they be a million and a thousand? Will they be one and five? Will it be something like that? But there are two of them. What are the values? So I'm just interested in that because it's a very nice and easy question. So yeah. So let me know when you're done. It's a little bit tricky, okay? Like the one from Limpopo, you had to play around with the equations, you had to do this and that and get the answer. Okay, I'm still here, please. So I'm still here. I'm not gone. I'm just waiting for you to tell me that you think the two answers are this and that. Hey, sometimes they put this tricky question. They're like simultaneous, but they come at a different angle. So you must be ready to decipher these and analyze these. Okay, so just note that. So you note exactly that. Okay, I'm here. I come back. Okay, so yeah, trying to make sure that you still can hear me so that you don't say I'm off air. I'm gone. I'm not gone. It's a little bit tricky, but I'm trying to keep you like energized. Okay, so we're doing paper one now in the afternoon. Later, we can even do it at night. Paper two, and then we alternate. One, two, one, two. Paper one, paper two. Paper one, paper two. We need to do that this very month, please. We need more time because the exam is here and we just cannot falter. We can't falter. So we can't falter. Okay, I come back. Right, how far are you done? I'm testing you with these because I want to make sure your mind gets used to the things because I know very well that these are the kinds of things that you're going to deal with in the exam. So I must train you. Every session must have something, some practice. Every section must have some practice. So I must give you a chance and say, okay. Hey, sometimes they mix as simultaneous. It's not, it's like it's simultaneous because it has like two variables in it, but it's not the usual one because this one is like the first one from Limpopo was combining some variables, you know. Yeah. Okay, you're done. Sorry, I can see the message. First value of y is 17 out of 2. Let's check. 17 out of 2. Let's check. Right. So yeah. Right. So to do this question, first things first, we need to look at a couple of things, but this compilation was compiled in the Eastern Cape province or in the province of the Eastern Cape. What are we supposed to do here? We need to calculate two values of these. So we need the values of these here. Okay, let me see what Mpho is saying. Right, then for x, you got square root of that. Okay, the first value of y, I'm going to write them here. The first value of y, you got 17 out of 2. And then now you went on to get the value of x, and the value of x became 17 out of 2. We're asking the question,
Square root.
yes, please. Square root, square root. Is that square root, right? Yes. Then for x, you got square root of this. Is it correct, right? So that's fine because I've not done this question myself. So I'm just going to do it now for the first time ever. Okay. So I'm going to see if Mpho is right or not. Okay, let's do it together. Right, before we do the Northwest question. Right, so we calculate two values of x over y. So now, because we want the values of these, we need to let k be this x over y. So we need to let k be this x over y. If we let k be this x over y, it means to come here and in the place of x over y, so here we have x over y, but now they're just changing it. Here they're making it y over x, meaning we can make it like this. And then this is equal to 17 out of 4. Right, so if you have y over x, you can make it 1 over and then you switch the positions. So the x over y now is k, and this is 1 out of k, and this is 17 out of 4. Okay, so what is this here? Right, if you have this, you multiply it through something called the lowest common denominator. So the lowest common denominator, you multiply it through, and in this case, it is k, so you multiply it through by k. So k times k, so you multiply k times k, and then you have k times 1 over k, and then k times, this is called the k method. This one is called the K method. So you have K squared plus 1 is equal to 17 over 4K. So you have 4K squared plus 4 equals 17K. What is this? So when you can't get here now, you get 4. You actually have 4K squared. You multiply it through by 4 here, the 4 in the denominator. So you have 4K squared minus 17K. That's 4 equals 0. Okay. So, okay. Now you have this, and then you just need to solve for K here. How do we solve for K here? How do you solve for K here? Plus 4. Right, how do we solve for K? So we can factorize this, and the factors are way too easy using the K method. So let K be something. So we have 4x minus 1, and then we have x minus 4, which means x is 1/4 or x is 4. Excuse me, I'm saying k, not x. I'm saying k, not x. I'm saying k, not x. So, which means here you have k. So, if this is the case, this is k. So, which means therefore k is this. But what is k? K is that. So, but k is x out of y. So it means therefore you come here and substitute, which means x out of y is 1/4, or x out of y is 4. So calculate the values of x over y. So x over y is 1/4, or x over y is 4. These are the two answers to this equation, and we are done. Right, so I know that this was a little bit tricky. So yeah, I'm just testing you from time to time. Here is the Northwest. Here is the Northwest September 2023 trial exam, Northwest. Right. Please try for me 3.1.1, and then we're going to do the corrections. Because, yeah, I just want to make sure that you try something, please, so that your mind is active, because now you might sleep, you see, and I don't like that. In the afternoon, I might return and do paper two, so, but you'll advise me, because I know that sometimes you have your own stuff to do. I can't just say, Paul, be here 24/7. This is recorded just in case the sound quality breaks if the network is not so good, you know. Because sometimes the network fails. So let's look at this one of Bukone Bupirima. Bukone Bupirima. Let me know when you're done, please. I know this one is too easy. I'm just giving you something to enjoy. So we need more practice, more practice, more practice. So let me know when you're done. This week, I want us to like learn every day, every night. It can be from 10 to 12 midnight. If you are free at 8 p.m., we start 8 p.m. So I want this workshop to run every day. Math and science workshops every day. We are starting the exam workshops this week, every day, 8 p.m. throughout the night, 8 p.m. throughout the night. You sleep online, you wake up, we're online. You sleep online, you wake up, we're online. We need to do this. Okay, we need to do this if we are to see get results. If we are to get results. Okay, you're done, hey?
Yes.
All right, that's fine. Okay,
And
you let me know. You let me know. I'm just giving you some time. Okay, because I want these to be like worksheets because like it's different provinces, like, but yeah, it's based like on the same parts of the paper. So when I do like paper one from all nine provinces, paper two from all nine provinces, then we get back to the national exams. So yeah, we need to master all the provincial trials, and then we go to the finals, the nationals. Okay, let's see what Police is giving here. Okay, Paul thinks that X is, let me write here. So Paul thinks that X is actually equal to 5, or X is actually equal to 5 out of 2. Let's take a look at these 5 or 5 out of 2. So let's take a look. So we have these. So you have X into X minus 5. So you have X0 or X is 5. X0 or X is 5. This one, right? Okay. So just note the small little tricks. Note the small little tricks and the small little mistakes. Because here we just built a 5x and then we took a common factor. Because x times x, we still can multiply x times x and x times 5. X times x is x squared and x times 5 is minus 5x. Okay, from this, because it is equal to 0, it is equal to 0. So we have this. Okay. So yeah, these are the answers then. You got 5. I can see there's just a division there. Okay, right. If you look at 3.1.2 now, it's quadratic. So you have minus b is plus or minus the square root of the b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So you have minus 2 plus or minus b squared. We have 2a is 1. So you have minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4a minus 4a is 1. Right, so you have minus 4a, 1 there. So you have minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4a is 1, sees that over 2a. So, right, so now when you have x squared minus 2x minus 13 equals 0. Right, so if you have this now, you have exactly that. So what you're getting here is that x, if you simplify this is x equal to 1 plus the square root of 14, or x equal to 1 minus the square root of 14. And so you have 74 here, which is minus 2.74. So you have this. All right, so those are the two answers to the first two questions. Please try 3.1.2, and I'm interested in knowing the answers there. So you can, yeah, we're practicing. Remember, there's another question that's going to come from another province of this year's September. So we're going to do like full trials of all 9 provinces. Obviously, it's time we need to finish this, right? So 3.1.3 is that one there, x minus 2 into 1 minus x is less or equal to 0. Solve for x. Let me know when you're done. Okay. Okay. All right. So we have this. Okay, please let me know when you're done. Okay, thank you. Let me check. Thanks for the message. Right, you think the critical values are exactly -2, so let me just write them down. So you think that the critical values here are actually x equals -2 or x equals 1. Okay, so we are looking at this and we are trying to solve the equation. So let's just get started with solving the equation. Let's first remove all these here. Right, so you're going to remove all these here. Right, so you're going to remove all these here. Right, so if you look at 3.1.3, so you have this. So yeah, you're right. So we need to find the critical values first, always. We find the critical values because this is less equal to 0. The critical values occur when x equals 2 or when x equals 1. Okay, maybe let me put things into perspective a little bit here, just to make sure that we are on the same page. Right, putting everything into perspective, we mean that we shall have that, okay, to get the critical values, we take the linear factor equated to 0. So we have x minus 2 equals 0, or we have 1 minus x equals 0. So which means x equals 2 or x equals 1. Okay, with this said, we actually plot everything here because now there's a small trick here. Because if one x is having a negative in front, the graph is going to be like this. It's going to have a sad face. Right. So normally it's a smiley face if both x have like pluses in front. So now you then have this. So which means you have 1, 2, 2. You order them correctly on the number line here, the x-axis. Right. We're interested in, well, this is equal to 0. Equal to 0 means we shape here. Less than 0 is below here. We are in business, which means x is less than 1 or x is bigger than 2, but equal to, equal to. Okay. These are the answers. So x is less equal to 1 or x is greater equal to 2. Right. So we're good. All right. So now you try the next one, please. So the next one would be That one would be 3.1.4. Please try 3.1.4 and then let me know when you're done. I want this to be like practice, because we are like doing like same topics at different provinces of the trials. So I don't want it to be as if we're just giving the answers, but I want you to like try and see what can be done. Okay. Please let me know when you're done. 3.1.4. And then we're going to do another province. What's the next province? The next province is Gauteng. Gauteng. This is what appeared in Gauteng, okay? In Gauteng. So, but let's first finish Bukone Bupirima first. Right, how far? Let's see now. Right, so all right, so stay tuned. Right, so I'm gonna remove this. Now, 3.2 is straightforward. Let's just practice that one together. So we have thrice 3 by x minus y equals 4. which means y is 3x. Y is 3x minus 4. So plus x. So you have 24. So you have 3x squared. You have x squared plus 3x squared minus 4x 24. 4x squared minus 4x minus 24 equals 0. If you divide through by 4, you have x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, now you can be able to obtain from these the binomial factors of this, which are x and x. So you have minus 3 plus 2, which means x is 3 units or y is the negative of 2. Which means you have 3 minus 4, 9 minus 4, which is 5. Y is 3 into minus 2 minus 4, which is minus 6 and minus 4, which is minus 10. So these are the two values of x and y. Okay, and right. So we need to check, are these solutions correct? Let's substitute and do a check. Okay, as I said, that simultaneous is a bit lengthy, so it helps to check to make sure that you get the correct answers here. Right, so let's do this one here. So this one says that you have y, let's take one y value, maybe this one, okay? You take y equals minus 10. It must be equal to 3 times, according to this, 3 times x. X is what? The corresponding x is minus 2 minus 4. So this is actually minus 6 minus 4, which is minus 10. So you have minus 10, and this is true, is a true equation. So it means, therefore, these are the correct solutions of the 3.2, and we have solved this multivariate equation from this multivariate equations from the Northwest province. Okay, from the province of the Northwest, let's look at the next question. The next question is 3.3. Let S be this one. Let S be 1 plus 1 over 7 into 1 plus 1 over 8 into 1 plus 1 over 9 into 1 plus 1 over 10. Okay. Okay. So now let's look at the 3.3. Um, right. So this one, I'm giving it to you for a few minutes from the Northwest. Let S be this one, where M is there and okay. So you let S be 1 plus 1 over 7 into 1 plus 1 over 8 into 1 plus 1 over 9 into 1 plus 1 over 10 into 1 plus 1 over M, where M is an element of the natural numbers and M lies between 7 and 3. Calculate all the values of M for which S will be a natural number. Show all calculations. I'm giving you this one, like 3 minutes. Okay, what is the calculation? What are you supposed to do here? Calculate all values of M for which S will be a natural number. Show all calculations. Calculate all values of M for which S will be a natural number. Okay. All right. So you let me know when you're done. Sometimes they trick you. You know, they bring some questions that are like different and they want to see what you think. They want to see your thinking. Okay, let's see what Impo is thinking. All right, I can see a message saying, can you do it together? I'm already confused. Okay, I can see that Impo is already confused here. And so we're just thinking, okay, but how do we do this question? How do we calculate all the values? Okay, we need all the values of M for which S will be a natural number and we need to show all the calculations. Okay, right. So there's certainly a couple of ways to think about this question here. Right, there's certainly a couple of ways to do this question. So to do this question, you have been given a total of 5 points. So, right, what do we do? So the couple of ways to do this, I'm going to do it in red. Okay, one way to do this is to realize that you have 1, 1, 1, and then these numbers here, they just keep increasing by 1. But now you can add everything up here. You can add everything up. Like so it's very easy. What do you do here? So you add everything. How do you add everything? Right. So you take the LCD, which is 7. Right. If you add here over 1, so this is going to be 7 plus 1. Next, 8 by 1, you can like cross multiply 8 by 1. We have 8 plus 1 over 8. Okay. Let me remove this one. Right, very easy question from the Northwest. And then 9 times 1, 9 by 1. Okay. So you have this one. 10 by 1, 10 plus 1 out of 10. Okay. Bukhane Bupirima. Northwest province. So M by 1, M plus 1 over M. Which means you have this. So if you look at this one here, what is 7 plus 1? It's actually 8 out of 7. 9 out of 8. 10 out of 9. 11 out of 10. m plus 1 over m. So what is this now? Right, so we have this. 8 cancels, 9 cancels, 10 cancels. So everything is going to cancel here. And we just need to find the values of m. So what is this thing here? Because if, okay, if we were to stop at the first two terms, so 8 is going to cancel and then it's going to be 9 over 7. But then now, if we stop here, 9 was going to cancel, 8 was going to cancel, and at the third term, it's going to be 10. 9 is gone, 8 is gone, 10 and 7 left. So it means that everything is going to, if we stop at this one, 11 out of 10, 10 is going to cancel, 9 is going to cancel, 8 is going to cancel, it's going to be 11 over 7. So here it's going to be exactly m plus 1 out of 7. All right. So it's obvious, simple. So 1 needs to be a natural number, but the numbers n, they lie between 7 and what? And 30. But they're bigger than 7. So if we have therefore that 7m 30. So what about m plus 1? Because we have m plus 1 here. So you can add 1. If you add 1, it becomes 7 plus 1 is less than, m plus 1 is less than 30 plus 1, which is 8 is less than, m plus 1 is less than 31. So you have this. So just added 1. So in other words, m plus 1 is between 8 and 31. So if m plus 1 is between 8 and 31, but it must be a multiple of 7 for this to be a natural number. How many multiples of 7 are there? Okay, so we have 7. The next one is 14. The next one is 21, 28. We just add 7. 35. Okay, but obviously we're looking between 8. So this one is out. And also it must be up to 31. So this one is out because it's 35. So it's bigger. So it means that we're going to look at the values of m plus 1, which are 14, 21, 28. So which means that you need to calculate all the values of m. So which means m plus 1 is 14, or m plus 1 is 21, or m plus 1 is 28. So m is 13, m is 20, m is 27. So these are the values, because if you put m to be 13 here, 13 plus 1 is 14, because s will be a natural number. So in other words, 7 must divide. So 14 divided by 7 is 2. 21, if you make m 20, 21 divided by 7 is 3, which is a natural number. 27 plus 1, etc. So yeah, that's the answer to this question. So calculate all the values of m for which s will be a natural number. So m is 13, or m is 20, or m is 27, and we are done. Right, so we take a break. Let's take a break now. Okay, so I'm gonna post a video in the next couple of minutes. So thanks a lot for joining us, but please, I wish that we meet again in the afternoon. But now I'll depend on you. Let me know the time at which you're gonna be free today afternoon or tonight at 8, at 6, at 10 at night, that kind of thing, because we need to go the extra mile if we really are gonna realize results. We need to work extra. We need to try questions, hundreds of questions, all provincial trials, all national exams. We need to do that. Okay, so thanks, Paul. I'll send you the video to the link to the video in the next couple of minutes. But thanks for joining us. We'll talk then on WhatsApp. Please let me know what time I'm gonna be free. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Impo. Goodbye, Impo.
Bye.
Goodbye.